Hello friends, in today's session for Fundamentals of Management, we're going to talk about Delegation of Authority. I'm Professor Asasani from IMS Ghaziabad University Courses Campus. So let's discuss the meaning of delegation. Delegation is the dynamics of management today. It is a process a manager follows in dividing the work assigned to him so that he can perform that part which only he, because of his unique organizational placement, can perform, and so that he can effectively get others to help him with what remains. Delegation of authority means the assignment of work to others and granting them the requisite authority to accomplish the job assigned. It enables the managers to distribute their load of work to others and concentrate on more important functions which they can perform better because of their position in the organization. Delegation is the ability of a manager to share his burden with others. So, the elements that are related to delegation of authority can be: number one, assignment of responsibility. Responsibility denotes the work or duties assigned to a person by virtue of his position in the organization. Thus, the superior entrusts some responsibility or duty to a subordinate for performance. Second is granting of authority. Authority is a right granted to an employee to make possible the performance of work assigned. Thus, the superior grants authority to the subordinate to carry out the duty assigned. This may include the right to use resources, spend money, engage people, and so on. The third element in delegation of authority is accountability for performance. Accountability is the obligation to carry out responsibility and exercise authority in terms of performance standards established by the superior. Thus, the last step in delegation is concerned with creating an obligation to carry out duty or responsibility and render an account of the results achieved through the use of delegation of authority. The subordinates must be held accountable for the exercise of authority granted to them. By accepting the duties and authorities, a subordinate becomes responsible to his superior. Moving ahead, let's discuss what are the different types of authority present in the organization structure. Moving ahead, delegation of authority can take the forms as stated here in the slides. Number one is written or oral delegation. Preferably, authority must be delegated in writing. Oral delegation may create confusion and misunderstanding. Second is delegation of general or specific authority. In case of general delegation, the authority is delegated in the same form and spirit as retained by the original officer. If only specific part of the work and authority is delegated, it will be specific delegation. The next type is soft and hard delegation. In the case of hard delegation, the delegate has to do work himself. This sort of delegation is generally at the lower levels. Soft delegation takes place at the higher levels of management. In this case, the delegate has to perform work with the help of other colleagues. The next type is lateral delegation. It is in this delegation, the subordinate has to perform work with the help of his colleagues of his own level. And the last is informal delegation. The subordinates themselves assume work just to please their superiors and use his authorities without any formal delegation. So these were the different types of delegation. Moving ahead, let's discuss the advantages of delegation. Delegation of authority is an important administrative process that can have the following advantages. Number one is multiplication of the executive's capacity. Delegation enables the executive's jobs to be performed by the subordinates, which no doubt multiplies the executive capacity. He is spared from the routine affairs and attends to most important complicated matters. Secondly, speedy decision making. The subordinates are granted adequate authority to take decisions required to perform the work or duty assigned to them. This speeds up the process of decision making. The third is means of coordination. Delegation enables manager and subordinates to establish close relationship with each other. It improves the atmosphere and maintains effective coordination at all levels. Next is opportunity for professional training and growth. The delegate learns the executive job and becomes capable of doing it, which increases his ability, understanding, and competency, and thus results in professional growth. The next is increasing the morale of employees. The subordinate performs the work assigned by the executives and thereby his morale and self-confidence are increased. He works with zeal, passion, and improves his efficiency to earn positions or promotions. The last is helping the expansion of business. If the enterprise expands, well-trained, experienced, and competent persons are readily available to take up new positions in the organization structure. These persons are so habitual of working in the real situations of the business that it becomes very easy to take up complicated matters. So these were a few advantages or the merits of delegation of authority. That's all for this session. Thank you so much.